warm welcome. Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch, Astrological Book of the Hours, or Astrological Horary Book, however you want to translate it. This is the 10th of November 2023, and we have a look at the astrological energy. Now there's a lot of forces out there these days, and you might feel it. We have a change though, because Mercury just crossed the line to the sign of Sagittarius, and that makes things a little different, because the dominator of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter again is being ruled by Venus, and that's the end of the line, is up there in the sign of Libra. The sextile in between Mercury and Venus will not occur until a few days, because they are both moving towards this sextile anyhow, but they are not doing it in great speed up to now. Mercury is still close to the Sun, and that's the situation. So the trine in between, the sextile in between Mercury and Venus building up is giving way to the possibility of diplomacy, both in Europe and on the other hand in the gate to Africa, could we say it that way. That's a nice additive to what's going on generally, because Mars is in opposition to Uranus, and Mars opposition to Uranus is a dangerous aspect at the same time. So they are both energies are in the air and everywhere. For the private use, Mars opposing Uranus in Taurus, that means any sudden move, any kind of do it without thinking, anything that wants to push through right now might be not a good idea, really. Better go for the aspect of diplomacy in between Venus and Mercury. However, when Mercury enters the sign of Sagittarius, the first thing he does is he does have a square aspect to Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Saturn is down here, it's a little gray. Maybe hold it a little closer. So this square will be dominating just as well. So this is a mixture of different aspects. When Mercury makes from Sagittarius to Pisces this square, it's the difference in between. We want to believe something, we want to go somewhere, and at the same time, as always, the dissolving structures down there in Pisces at the same time. So, what can we hold on? First of all, dangerous aspect, Mars opposing Uranus, and it's not even exact today, but it's going to come. Building up sextile, which is a fine thing, in between Venus and Mercury. Venus has something to say these days, it's not all upon Mars. At the same time, we have the square Mercury to Saturn. And it's all going close to the new moon in Scorpio. So it's new moon in Scorpio. It's not a full moon, but it feels like a full moon. It's going to be high noon, probably, something like that. And that's basically the situation. Not the last thing to mention is the south node is in the sign of Libra, and the moon is approaching the south node at the sign of Libra. So that means there's a karmic influence, of course, in the, maybe even the possibility of going to negotiations, as we all know. But keep the vibes up today. Don't go for trouble, and don't go for Mars opposing Uranus. This is the difficult one. Better go to negotiations. Thank you very much for listening. Negotiations also on a private level. Thank you for listening. Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch. It's the 10th of November 2023. And if you want to get in contact, just use this mail address. It has a DE at the end because I'm from Germany. And down there at my blog, it's always in German, but you'll be able to read the numbers. There you find the conditions for a consultation on my blog site. This is, again, Astrologisches Stundenbuch, the 10th of November 2023.